All right. Beautiful people, beautiful women. I'm so sorry there were some technical issues, so I was running a little bit late. I'm sorry. Well, no apologies necessary because we are here today. And it's Friday. Yay day! Listen up while we are waiting for my special guest to enter the studio. I just wanted to celebrate all of you that have been so active while watching live or commenting in the Facebook groups on the call to action. I really love it. So up to now, we had some great constructive conversations, and I'm so happy, honored, and grateful that today I've got a special guest for you. A special guest coming all the way from South Africa. I'm just waiting for her oh, there she is. I see her. So my special guest, please welcome to the stage my special guest, my dear friends. We are really sisters from another mister, like she always introduces me when I'm on our summits. I'm so happy I introduce to you Sylvia Koketso Milosevic. Woo!
Thank you, my sis. Thank you for having me here.
I'm so happy.
The tribe.
Right? I'm so happy we get to do this. Now, for those of you who don't know Sylvia, she's a high-valued property and realtor, investor, and founder of Riches and Beyond. And she's doing some amazing things in South Africa, raising the country to higher levels, the people in the country to higher levels, which she will talk about just in this conversation. So, Sylvia, I'm so happy you are here. And as I explained to you, and as the audience already knows, the bra experience is where women come together to support each other and to lift each other up, which is, of course, the function of the bra. And so we are having constructive conversations, 14 days. We're almost at the end of the 14 days. But the conversations keep getting not better, because every conversation was great, but it keeps getting more fun and more ease, and more people are watching them. So everyone, let me know you're here. I cannot see your names all the time, so let me know you're here. Just say hi, where you're watching from, and also be very interactive with Sylvia. So Sylvia, my sister. So I'm so happy you are here, because your journey is truly fascinating and really inspiring as well. You're doing so many great things. Yes, Lori is here, always from Washington State. So I just wanted to pick your brain as to what can we learn as women, and because you are in the financial industry, so to speak, not as a bank or insurance, but you know what I mean. I just wanted to have a conversation with you on how can we as women really claim our financial independence and our financial power, and let that be the domain you are experts in.
I love it. Thank you.
So wait, before you go, Pauline, hi Pauline, just saying hi to a few people using the phone instead of my laptop. Pauline from she's in Iceland. So it's a global conversation.
I love it. Hi Pauline, thank you for showing up. Thank you, Lori. Hey, we love Lori. Thank you. It's good to have you here. So I just want to talk a little bit about, as a woman, what I've experienced growing up. So I grew up in a wonderful family of 5. My father was the only breadwinner, which meant my mother was a stay-home mom, where the entire family was reliant on my dad's salary for taking care of the family. So my father worked for BMW here in South Africa for 17 years of his life. Their future was fully planned out. He dedicated his time and he was a good employee. And on his 17th year of his job, he got fired just like that. So the plans they had for their lives in terms of my father working up until he retired, just like that overnight, it was all gone. And
Wow.
I know. So I
And
recall.
and that's something that a lot of people right now can relate to, right? Because with all this craziness that's happening in the world, a lot of people are experiencing the same thing, right?
Correct, because there's no guarantee, nor is there truly a true security when coming to having a job. Ultimately, at the end of the day, as much as we love our jobs and as much as I respectfully respect jobs because they take care of our livelihood, but there's no control. There's no, you're not in charge. The
Correct.
economy can happen. Your boss can decide the next day to say, you know what, we're closing down the shop or we're cutting down. And even
Hmm.
so, your husband can leave you. Don't want to be negative, or he can lose his job. So
Exactly. Or something can happen and
something
you're
can
not
happen.
able to work anymore, Yeah.
So in my case, I was at the age of 16 years old when my father lost his job, and he came home and he told us the news. And I remember we're sitting in the living room, and it felt as though all the four walls in that room, in the living room, came crashing down on us. But nothing on that day prepared us to the next 3 years of unemployment. You see, I came from a family that had money in the bank to not knowing where money was going to come from, a family that never worried about food to not knowing where food was going to come from. So it became really, really difficult. And, I always say if my father had a dream, his dream had turned into a nightmare. Now,
Mm.
what I saw happening, and this attests to the power of women, and I'm so excited you invited me to this because during those 3 years of unemployment, I saw my mother stepping up. My father tried to get a job and he was trying every day, would go out there into the market. He was never lucky. But my mother could not just sit back and watch her children going to bed on empty stomachs. She stood up. She started like a mini tuck shops, and she started selling cool drinks, started selling food, just so there could be a profit at least to take care of her children. And I've learned the entrepreneurial spirit watching my mother scrape every single thing just to make sure that her babies, her children, did not go on to bed on empty
To bed on an empty stomach.
no need
Wow.
for school because there was no money for school fees. So I applaud women. Women are strong. I'm grateful that I was born as a woman, and that was my first lesson to what we call financial independence or financial education. When I turned 21 years old, my parents never did a 21st birthday, but they bought me a book, and the book was on property. And I read that book in 3 days. I couldn't put it down. The name of the book is, I'm sure a lot of people around the world have read it. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And when I read that book, for me, was my aha moment. And I must say this, from reading that book at the age of 21 to now being 39, today I own a property wealth creation company in South Africa, educating women, educating even men, educating everyone on the most important thing, which is owning your financial situation. How,
Mm.
oh, I could go on and on and
I
on.
know, but it's so
Financial
important. Oh, and
independency.
exactly, and specifically in times like these, we experienced a few crises, financial crises, economical crises, um, and specifically in times like these, people had buffers. They had money
Mhm.
set aside for 6 months, a year. But this situation has been taken all of the buffers, so people are becoming anxious. Fearful. They're like seeing their lives tumbling and down. So it's really important to get a grip on that. I agree. I agree.
No, definitely.
And so, what would you advise women? Because you had a powerful role model. Let's hear it for the powerful women, powerful mothers. You cannot let your babies go to bed hungry, right? The same was
100%.
what applied for my mother.
Mm.
Um, so you had a powerful role model. And so, what would be your advice when it comes to us moving forward? Because, like I said, the world today needs us as women to rise up, stand up, show up in a more powerful way than we have been in previous years. That's truly what I believe, that the energy, the feminine energy that we have, the things we bring to the table are crucial for the evolution and the transformation of the planet as we speak right now. So I'm very curious on what you would give as advice to the women on how to make sure to emerge powerfully or to thrive, as you say in your.
Thank you, Asnina. So I would say to all women watching right now to say, you've made it this far. You
Let's
have,
celebrate that.
amen. You have made it this far. And because you've made it this far, that means you can still go further. And your current circumstances do not define your future.
Ooh.
Yes.
Someone type that in chat. Your circumstances today do
Do
not determine
your
your
future.
future.
And here's the beautiful thing about tomorrow, about right now and tomorrow and a month from now and a year from now, is right now you have control. Right now you have a choice. And what you choose right now will determine your tomorrow, a month from now, and a year from now. The real question is, what are you choosing right now? Are you choosing to be depressed? Are you choosing to look at everything your brain, as they say, there's a saying that says the brain is the devil's playground. Are you choosing to believe all those limiting beliefs? Are you choosing to believe in the fears and everything holding you? Are you choosing to look at the pain you've gone through? Are you choosing to look at your bank account at zero? Or are you choosing to say, regardless of what's happening in my surrounding, I still have the power? As long as I'm breathing, as long as I have two legs, two arms, even if you don't have those things, as long as you are breathing, your desire, your conviction, your desire, your choice today can make all the difference
For tomorrow.
tomorrow, for a month from now, for a year from now. It's all about a mindset. It's all about what you choose. And sometimes, you it might even be hard. We all are human beings. We go through things in life that are there to build us up. And sometimes you might feel as though like, everything is against you. It's all doom and gloom. But at the end of the day, you want to have what we call a sky view. And a sky view is seeing things beyond the physical. It's choosing what you want your life and your future to be, even though everything around you says you're mad, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. It's all about what you choose. And what you choose, and what you're convicted on, and what you put a stamp on, regardless of your situation, saying, you know what? I am strong. I know who I am. Doing your daily affirmations, having gratitude, like doing your daily gratitude on the small things that you have right now, that you might think they're small, but they're bigger things. And working on yourself, doing the work. Never ever stop doing the work.
The
Because
work.
every single day gets you closer to where you want to get to. That would be my advice.
Ooh, I love it, sister. I need to break this down again because listen, I'm catching the replays 3 times a day because there's so many things that all my friends are sharing from all over the world. So I'm really happy. So it's absolutely right. The choices we make today determine our tomorrow. And I
Yes.
want you to sit on that for just one moment. One moment. Just think, and let that be the call to action for today. Just think about what choice can you make today that will change your future for the better tomorrow. And so I want you to type that in chat. So that's the first thing. The choices you make today determine the future you have tomorrow. But also, are you being driven or by the fear? Like, is it the reptile brain that is in action to protect you, to flee away from the things you don't want, all these kind of things, which might make you feel paralyzed, not moving forward, like sometimes we freeze because there's so much things happening and we don't know what to do. But freezing is never a great coping mechanism. Freezing in the jungle will have the lion have his supper that day. Even Impala freezes while the lion is hungry, the lion is set for dinner that day, right? So freezing is not a great coping strategy. But fighting, I used to be driven by the fight. Like, I don't want to stay where I'm at because I know it's not for my good. It's a great coping mechanism, but it will put a lot of stress on yourself because you're running away from something that you don't want. And what I would like to invite the women to do is to be pulled by what Sylvia said, being pulled by the gratitude you feel, being pulled by looking back at the experience that made you the woman today, being pulled by the vision you have for your life, for your children's life, for your country's life. For me, it's for my teenagers' life, for the teenagers that I help. So being pulled by that. For Sylvia, I know for Sylvia, you're being pulled by bringing South Africans financial liberty so that they can get a grip on their life, get control on their life, and not have anyone determine their outcome anymore. So are you being pulled? So second call to action. What is pulling you?
I love that.
Right?
Oh, that's
what you say.
I know. Doing it so I feel it.
So what are you being pulled by? So what choice are you going to make today to have another tomorrow, a better tomorrow, not another, a better tomorrow, an upgrade tomorrow, okay? And what are you being pulled by? So yeah, Sylvia, tell me more. Like, I know that you and Milan have had Milan is her husband, her wonderful husband, by the way. I know that you have traveled a journey that wasn't always roses and diamonds and rainbows, So what made you keep going?
What was pulling me from a young age, or let's say from the age I was 16 years old, is figuring out how do I get to that level of achieving what we call financial independence. I was scared of relying on a job because of what I experienced with my father. How can you work for a company for all those years and just like that it'd be taken away from you? So while my friends, my family members, and people around me were going out there, universities, getting degrees to get all this, amazing careers, I was kind of skeptical and say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do something that I can be in charge of my financial situation. So fast forward, I started investing in property when I was 23 years old. And the first 8 years of me investing in property, I did it my own way. I read books and I went to seminars, and I would just go there to try and get as many tips as possible. And I'll go out there and do it on my own. And as a result of that, fast forward 8 years later, I then discovered that I made lots and lots of mistakes and lost money as a result of that. I dealt with tenants who refused to pay for rents. They knew more about it than I did. The managing agent we had hired to take care of our portfolio, because we were in the US, so when we came back home 8 years later, they disappeared with all the deposits from all the tenants. It was just chaotic. It was sad because a goal we had set for ourselves, let's invest in property. So when we go back to South Africa from the US, we'll have a portfolio looking after me. And it didn't turn out that way. So we learned the hard way. And we also learned something powerful, that when you do things that you do not know what you are doing, you will pay for what we call high school fees. And that's how we pay for our high school fees.
You paid high school fees.
High. Talk about a plan going wrong, like a plan you had for 8 years. It was painful. Here I am in South Africa. I mean, coming from the US, I met my husband while I was in the US. We
Exactly.
worked in the US, and now he's from Serbia. We met in the US, and he had visited South Africa. But here we are, we got married, relocating for the first time to South Africa, for him to live in South Africa. And we had worked so hard, to build this portfolio of properties. Now we come home. First thing, our letting agent, AWOL, nowhere to be found, ran away with all the money. Tenants realizing what was happening, they took advantage of the opportunity.
Of course.
Oh my, it was
opportunities.
It was painful. And we found ourselves at crossroads. Okay, so this is our reality. What do we do now? Do I look for a job here to look after both of us, or do we go back to the US and ask for our jobs back? It was said, but there's a powerful saying, a very, very powerful saying that goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And our teacher came in the form of a seminar. It was a free seminar we attended. It was on property. It was a British company here in South Africa, educating South Africans on how to invest offshore. Long story short, we went for that course, changed our lives. We got ourselves a mentor, someone who held us by the hand, who was there as our support throughout the journey. And in 4.5 years, we had gotten to a point whereby we had built a portfolio that was making us money. We had achieved what we call financial independency, where we were getting sufficient income from property that was now covering our lifetime. I never ever had to look for another job. I haven't worked now for over 10 years. We've just started from there and have just been growing it. And as we were growing our portfolio, and we started now teaching others, my closest friends, my family members, taught my mom, my dad. Today, as I speak to you, my father's dignity has been restored. He's never got another job, but he started a construction company. He started doing capital flips. Today, he lives better than most people who are employed through that we got. And as we were teaching others, they were starting to get the same results as we were getting. That's when the birth of our property wealth creation company started from. So to date, we've had over 40,000 students coming across our trainings here in South Africa. We have helped our students raise close to about 100 million euros worth of funding for their deals. It's just been an incredible journey overall, and I'm humbled by it. But it all started with a decision to believe in yourself, a decision to say, you know what, regardless of what my surroundings are showing me or saying, it doesn't matter. I will take a leap of faith. I'll take one step at a time. As long as you are moving forward, you're in the right direction.
Exactly.
You're just going to be moving forward, regardless. Just
keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you'll be fine. I
just believing though everything around you says, come on, just let's be real. There's no such a thing as reality. As a matter of fact, reality does not exist. The only reality that exists is the one that you put out there.
I need to go. My sister, what a journey you've had. And I know it wasn't, we laughed about it while you were talking about it, about what happened, but I know it was very painful, and that were dark times for you. But again, you learned so much from it. You found the way to surround yourself with people who could educate you, and now you're doing the same for your people in South Africa, which is awesome. So you're giving back, and that in turn will give like a flow that is like giving and receiving. And so I'm so happy. Well, I'm not happy. I'm inspired by your journey and by what you're doing in the world. And for now, it's South Africa, but the world is your oyster, like you said.
That is the goal. Why not? It is an oyster. Why
not? Ask that question more. Why not? Why not me? Why not now? Why not? Why not?
You're in Belgium. I'm in South Africa. We're doing this. So why can't we do an event?
That's exactly. And that's what is so crazy. I was just texting with a friend of mine. She goes like, oh, the bra experience is so amazing. And I said, and can you believe my friends from all over the world? I mean, I'm amazed by the people we are connected with, right? And some of them as well. So it's amazing that we can have this global connection, because that's the energy that's needed to lift the world up, to bring it back to something that everyone can thrive and emerge in. Just using your words, sister.
Slogan rather.
So no, it's so what you said is so important, and I want to end with that. Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to do, take a step. If you don't know which direction to take a step. If you don't know what's in front of you, take a step. If you don't know how to release something so you can move forward lighter, take a step. Just put your one foot in front of the other and keep moving. That's how you will in turn create your future today.
I love it. That's powerful.
Right?
That's powerful.
So I want to thank you, Sylvia. So call to action, I will put in the Facebook group. What is the choice you're going to make to better your future for tomorrow? And what is pulling you? I'm so curious. Listen, last week, and apologies for those who still need to get my email on the 21 steps that you have won. 4 winners last week because they were very active. So for everyone that's very active this week, and we still have 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, we've got someone juicy. Tomorrow, we've got someone juicy. I mean, we're going to close the bra experience with a bang. It's not going to be closed, but we're going to wrap up the journey together of the 14 days. So for everyone that's very active, at the end of the week, again, I will choose a few winners that have been very active in the Facebook group, and they will win the 21 steps to scale for sales success, to help you keep moving forward and to start believing more in yourself. So Miss Sylvia, can I please thank you for not only showing up today, but for being a friend, for being my inspiration, for encouraging me when I sometimes don't see the next step. I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for your light, your grace, and your ease.
Thank you, sis. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me here at your tribe, meeting your tribe members. It's truly an honor, and I'm humbled. Thank you so much. And I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. So for everyone, tomorrow, 7 p.m., another constructive conversation on the bra experience. See you there, or be square.